If your ISP server does not have a script to install WordPress for you, or if you prefer to install it manually on your ISP hosting account or on your own web server, this video can help. It explains the steps you need to complete to get WordPress up and running on a typical web server. As you'll see, it does require a bit of additional effort on your part. It does not, however, require any special programming knowledge. So the first thing you need to do is you need to get WordPress. And you get WordPress from the WordPress.org website from the download page. It's WordPress.org/download, or you could just go to the WordPress.org website and then click the download link, and that'll get you to this page. The most recent version of WordPress is always on this page. So I'm going to click the link here, Download WordPress 2.7. It's going to, on my Mac here, ask me how I want to open that. I'm going to let it open it with Stuff at Expander. It might be different on your browser. It might open differently. It downloads a file. It's pretty quick. It's only a megabyte. And then I should be able to see that file in my Downloads folder. And there it is. This is the file I downloaded, and Stuff It has expanded it for me. If I open that up, I could see the files inside there. These are the files that make up WordPress. Okay, that was the first step. The second step is to go into your ISP account or your web server and create a database. You need a MySQL database for this, and the way you create your database will vary depending upon your web server. I'm right now using a GoDaddy hosted account, and I've already got a number of databases created on my account that I use for other blogs. The way I would create a new database on GoDaddy is to come into the Control Center interface, which I see here. Log into my account, come into Control Panel interface, and then click this MySQL link here, and that'll get me into the databases. If you're not using GoDaddy, it's going to be different. So you want to maybe consult the online help for your system or ask an administrator to give you a hand. So I'm going to click this link here. It's going to take me into a section where I can create the database. These are the ones I already have created. I'm not going to use any of these. I'm going to create a brand new one. So I click Create Database, and it's going to ask me some questions. It wants a description of the database, so I'm going to type in Springfield Elementary. And then it wants to know the name of the database, and I'm going to call it Spring School. And a password, and you need to remember this password. I'm going to type in capital T, EST 123, and type that again. Now, it's really, really important that you remember the database name and also your password. So if you haven't written it down, make sure you do. Because if you forget that, you're kind of out of luck there. You'll have to create a new database, which isn't a huge deal, but it will definitely delay the process. MySQL version, I'm going to choose 5.0. That's all done, so I'm going to click OK. And here it's listed on my list of databases with the description, and right now it's pending setup. It has to do some things on the system and keep track of itself and all that. So while it's doing that, we'll continue with the instructions for setup. So I'm going to go back to the Finder. And what I want to do here is I want to find in the WordPress folder the file named wp-config-sample. And I want to change that file so that it's actually just called wp-config.php. Okay, and once I've done that, what I want to do is I want to open that up with a text editor. So I'm using Text Wrangler on my Mac. It says here that it's from the internet. Do I want to open it? Yes, I do. Text Wrangler is a plain text editor. It is not a word processor. Do not use a word processor that puts formatting into your text. Don't use Microsoft Word. Use a plain text editor. That's the best way to do this. It'll prevent you from getting weird characters in here that will definitely screw things up. I like Text Wrangler because it has built-in FTP capabilities, which comes in handy for modifying themes and things like that, but also because it color codes the different code that it sees. It can recognize different code and put colors on them so it stands out. So what you want to do here is you want to substitute this information with the information for your particular database. So it says put your DB name here. We're going to put in the database name, which is Spring School. And it's the same information for the database username. So I'm going to select that, press Command-C to copy it. That would be Control-C on a PC. And then Command-V to paste it in place of that other text. Again, Control-V on a PC. Wants our password, and this is case sensitive. So it's capital T, EST, 123. And you notice that does display in plain text. The next thing it wants to know is the host name. And in many instances, this local host, the way it's written here, will be okay. I happen to know from experience that on GoDaddy, this will not work. I need to find the exact host name for this. So what I need to do is go back to GoDaddy, and I need to hope that my new database is finished setting up. So what I'll do is I'll click the edit link. So the information that we need here is the host name. And that's this weird string of characters here. So I'm just going to select that information, and I'm going to copy it again, Command-C or Control-C on a PC. And that's all the information I need from there. So I'll go back to Text Wrangler. And where it says localhost, I'll select that. And I'll press Command-V or Control-V on a PC to paste that in. This information here you can keep as is, but what we do want to do here is change these different keys. This is a security feature of WordPress, and it's kind of a good idea to put this information in here. So what we want to do here is get some unique keys, and they've given us a website where we can get information. We can actually get these keys generated for us, and they'll be unique every single time. It's like a random number generator. So I've come up here and I've selected the URL for this secret key thing. I'm going to press Command-C to copy it, and that would be Control-C on a PC. I'm going to go back to the web browser. We're all done with GoDaddy here, so I'm going to do Command-V on a Mac or Control-V on a PC to paste that into the address bar. Press Return, and what they've done here is they've generated the 4 keys that we need. And these are really long, random numbers, so this is good that somebody else has done this for us. So it's selected. I'm going to press Command-C to copy it, or Control-C on a Windows PC. Go back to Text Wrangler, select where I want to paste it, Command-V to paste it in, or Control-V on Windows, and that's all the information we need here. So once this is done, I can save it, Command-S or File Save or Control-S on a PC, and then I'm all done with Text Wrangler, so I'm going to just quit it, or you can exit your text editor. And I'm going to go on to the next step now, which has us put the files into the web server. So what I've got here is a program called CyberDuck. It's an FTP client. You can use any FTP client. This happens to be a Macintosh one. It's free. I'm going to open up a bookmark I've already created that gets me into the root directory for the server, and it's a big empty directory here. And then what I'm going to do here is go back to the WordPress folder. We've got our changed config.php file there. I'm going to select all the files by doing a Command-A or Control-A on Windows, and then I'm going to drag them into this window to basically upload them to the web server. So I'm waiting now for that to upload. When the files are all uploaded, I can look in the FTP window and I can see them all listed here. So I'm all done with that. I can quit this FTP client. And now I'm going back to my web browser, and this is the last step of the installation, is to tell the installer to do its job. So up in the address bar, select the URL that's up there and type in a new URL. You're going to type in http://www.springfield-k6school.com/wp-admin/install.php. Of course, in your particular case, you're going to type in your domain name, not ours. And also, if you've installed this in a folder inside your root directory, then you would put in that folder name as part of the URL. So I've got that in there. I'm going to press Return, crossing our fingers here, and there it is. So what they want to know now is what the title of the blog is going to be and what your email is going to be. So I'm going to type that in. We're going to call this Springfield Elementary, and we're going to type in an email. All right. And if you want your blog to appear in search engines like Google, Technorati, and other ones, then you want to make sure that checkbox is turned on and click Install WordPress. And WordPress gets installed. That's it. It sets up a username for you of admin, which is the default, and then it also sets up a password. So you want to select the password, and you want to copy that. So I'm doing a Command-C, or you could do Control-C on a Windows machine. Click Login, and then for username, type in admin, and password, you could paste that password in. I don't want it to remember me because I'm going to change that password. I want a password I can remember. So I'm going to click Login. And I'm going to tell Firefox not to remember the password either, if your browser asks you that. And what it does is it brings me to the WordPress dashboard, and here it is. And if we wanted to look at the site, we can click Springfield Elementary up here, and it would display the site. So as you can see here, manually installing WordPress onto a server does take a few additional steps, but the installation routines within WordPress do most of the difficult work. For you, it's just a matter of preparing the server for the installation and getting the MySQL database login information. WordPress does the rest.